Jerome Ezekiel Cousins, a.k.a. the Tim Pot Pizza Ranch Dictator, has been in power here with the Minnesota Vikings over the last 3 seasons, and he's already breaking some franchise records when it comes to the quarterback position. Now, the Vikings' history of quarterbacks, besides the top-end pipe hitters of Fran Tarkenton, 494, Tommy Kramer, Dante Culpepper, get your roll on, baby. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's so rough that the fact that Kirk Cousins, after 3 seasons, is the 4th all-time leading passer in team history, that's depressing. It really is. But we want to go through and talk about and debate where does Kirk Cousins stack up all time. So as of right now, this is not our ranking. This is just a list of the Vikings franchise quarterbacks sorted by yards per Pro Football Reference. There we go. So Fran Tarkenton as a numero uno won 559% of his games, 33,000 yards. Now remember, you do have to take era into account here because Fran Tarkenton, back in the day. Also, Joe Cap played in an era where quarterbacks, if you threw for one more touchdown than you did interceptions, that was a good season. Like a quarterback could easily go out there, throw 15 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. They consider that good. Today, that's garbage. That is hot garbage. So Kirk Cousins does live in the modern passing game. So let's see here. It's going through, so we've got 12,166 yards. That's 4th all-time. He's also 4th all-time in touchdowns with 91. He is 10th all-time with interceptions, 29, so he does take care of the football. Because look at Tarkenton. His touchdown-interception ratio is basically like 3-2, or it's like 5-4, roughly in there. So ain't great, but also is part of his era. Plus, you do have to factor in Tarkenton running. Because he was the original OG Crazy Legs. Kirk Cousins is number 1 in yards per attempt. That also speaks to the efficiency of the modern passing game. He's number 1 in quarterback rating as well. Let's get that on screen. There we go. But also, you look at team results. And I know, hashtag QB wins, but I do put down team success as an indicator of how good a quarterback is. It's not the be-all, end-all, but the most important position in all of team sports, unless you're talking about the 2020 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year award. It does matter. So good quarterbacks, teams generally do better. It's crazy how things work out. But Kirk has never won the division in 3 years here with the Vikings. He does have 1 playoff win. That's the last column. Whereas you look at Fran Tarkenton, 6 division titles. It's a pretty big deal. Plus, also what's amazing is that Tarkenton, the Vikings didn't go to the playoffs the first time around when Tarkenton was here under Norm Van Brocklin and then also early Bud Grant. But then when he came back from the Giants, that's when the Vikings really hit it, where they had 6 division titles. I think it might have been 6 in a row. And then they went to 3 Super Bowls, won 7 playoff games. And remember, Joe Cap was the original Super Bowl quarterback, 1969. Very underrated Vikings team. He was that guy there. Coming down from the CFL, throwing without the laces, had 7 touchdowns in the game. Woo! Drinking tequila, fist fighting, getting into it. I love Joe Cap, man. He's absolutely great. But Kirk Cousins, 0 division wins, like I mentioned, 1 playoff win against the Saints. What up? What up? What up? And you look at the track record, it's pretty thin. Because remember, for all the success that Randall Cunningham had with the 98 Vikings, he won 1 playoff game. Right? Of course, they lost in the NFC title game against the Falcons. And also Brett Favre. For as amazing as the 2009 season was, they won the division, but they won 1 playoff game. They beat the Cowboys' ass. Was it like 31-3 in the division round? And of course, NFC title game. Not so much. It is kind of crazy. But let's break this down. So we got a top 13. Sort of clear the decks here. I'm going to leave Tarkenton at 1. Obviously, he's the George Washington of the franchise, so we're going to leave him up there. But what are we going to do? Do we put Dante at 2? Nah. Do we put Tommy Kramer at 2? But the thing about Kramer and Dante is that they have losing records as starting quarterbacks. And also, Dante, for as good as he was, he only won 1 division title and won 1 playoff game. That's pretty crazy. So we'll do that. Man. Now we get into depressing category because what do we just ascend Brett Favre because of that 1 amazing season? Do we ascend Randall Cunningham? I think we might have to. Because this is completely shooting from the hip. Like, do we put Brett Favre at 4? Man, that gets really depressing really fast. And Kirk Cousins, what he's done in 3 years as a 543 winning percentage, sure. 12,000 yards. Do we put him at 5? Let's put a pin in it. Let's just put him there and see how the rest of this list shakes out. Then what do? No, we put Joe Cap up higher, right? All right, so I would put Joe Cap. I might put Joe Cap at 2. Yeah. I mean, Tommy Kramer was fun. And I mean, do we? I would not put Favre ahead of Culpepper. I would not put Favre ahead of Kramer. It gets pretty close. Will I put Dante ahead of Kramer? I will, because just generationally, like if you're a kid of the 80s, I understand if you put Tommy Kramer above Tark, or sorry, above Dante. You definitely wouldn't put him above Tark. But then, man, Christian Ponder's out here. Like Rich Gannon. In terms of depressingness from Vikings history, Rich Gannon was drafted by the Vikings out of Delaware. He still lives in Minnesota, by the way, Western Burbs. And the fact that the Vikings let him go, and then he was a journeyman for a hot second, then he became NFL League MVP. I mean, that doesn't get enough love. He was 2-time first-team All-Pro. That's crazy. All right, so now, God, I'll put Cunningham up there. Behind Cousins. Do we go Wade Wilson next? Yeah, do we go Deadpool next? I think we have to. Deadpool at 8. And Brad Johnson, Warren Moon. Man, we're getting into like really thick territory here. Yeah, I'll put Brad Johnson at 9. Put Warren Moon at 10. And then do we put Hey Teddy? Hey Teddy at 11. Gannon. It's depressing that we have to put Christian Ponder at 13. That is kind of messed up. But all right, so how do we feel about this one? So Tark, Cap, there's 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks. Dante, get your roll on. It might be a little bit more generational thing for me. 494 Tommy, Bert Favre for those, really great one season. 2010, not so much. Kirk at 6. I feel like that's fair. Well, you could put Randall above Kirk, and I wouldn't be matching necessarily, because that 15-1 season was amazing. Does one amazing season cover up for 3 average to okay seasons with Kirk? Actually, yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we're going to slide Cunningham above Kirk. So as of right now, we'll put Kirk ahead of Wade Wilson, Brad Johnson, Warren Moon, win that territory. But hell, if the Vikings win the division this year, obviously we're going to have to bump him up. And if the Vikings hoist that Jerome Party, actually, let's do an exercise. Let's say the Vikings hoist that Jerome Party trophy at the end of the season. Super Bowl 56, Inglewood up to no good. Where does he go? Like, does he go to 1 or does he go to 2? Like, would Kirk Cousins supplant Fran Tarkenton at 1 if he won 1 Super Bowl? That's tough. That's tough because Fran Tarkenton was a bad dude, man. Yeah, it might have to go like that. So there you go. Kirk Cousins, all you need to do is win the division, win the Super Bowl, and then you'll be 1. You'll jump up 8 spots. It'll be great. But what are your thoughts on our thoughts? How would you rank him? Where does Kirk Cousins rank amongst the Vikings all-time quarterbacks? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.